Today I will be talking about the missing representation of brown Asians in the transcending Asian American media. So my argument is, despite the progressive representation of Asians in the mainstream media of Hollywood, there's not enough representation of brown Asians. This points to issues of colorism and Western beauty standards, Asian stereotypes and misconceptions, as well as the misrepresentation of who the mainstream audience considers Asian. From stereotypical characters of Fu Manchu and Dragon Ladies, to the whitewashing and yellowface of Asian characters on film, to transcending films like The Joy Luck Club and Better Luck Tomorrow, we now have the biggest, most forward-moving step towards Asian representation in the media since Joy Luck Club of 1993, which is the movie Crazy Rich Asians, which was released in 2018. Crazy Rich Asians featured an all-Asian cast since 25 years. We've come a really long way in having Asian representation in the media. Next, I'll be showing you the teaser for Crazy Rich Asians.
Damn, Rachel. It's like the Asian Bachelor.
I feel glorious, glorious. I feel glorious, glorious.
You should have told me that you're like the Prince William of Asia.
That's ridiculous. Much more of a Harry.
Glorious, glorious.
So aside from Crazy Rich Asians, we also have other movies that were released in August of 2018 that also featured Asian leads that were able to play normal, non-stereotypical characters. And so some of these movies, this month was actually referred to by Rebecca Rubin, a writer for Variety magazine, as hashtag Asian August. And in hashtag Asian August, some of these movies are movies like The Darkest Minds, Dog Days, The Meg, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and Searching. And so, out of all of these movies, aside from Crazy Rich Asians, To All the Boys I've Loved Before and Searching also did really well in terms of becoming popular in the mainstream media. So next, I'll be showing you To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which is basically like an Asian American rom-com, kind of.
You've got to get out there and show people who you really are.
Laura Jean. Just don't let yourself, okay?
Let's do this.
I'm with you.
Next, I will be showing you Searching, which is basically a Asian American thriller.
Mr. Kim, is everything okay?
Everything is great. Margot and I are...
She had cash in her car.
I felt bad about everything.
She was my best friend.
Oh my God.
Told me she ran away!
I didn't know her. I didn't know my daughter.
So looking at all three of the trailers and teasers that I've showed you, so I came up with an encoded message, and according to Stuart Hall, that's basically just what the producer or maker wants you to think or what they put into it. And in this case, you have these films produced by Warner Brothers and Sony, as well as films distributed by Netflix that are of Asian representation. So yay, Asian representation. Very groundbreaking for Hollywood or mainstream media, and adds a lot more diversity with a lot more different faces being shown. Now, I have my decoded message, which is basically what someone else might get out of it, and from what I got out of it was that the mainstream media only shows light-skinned East Asians that are most dominant in a lot of films that are supposed to be Asian. You have the Chinese, Korean, and Japanese folks represented, but you don't see a lot of the other brown Asians. There's very little diversity in representing Asians. Asians are not only composed of just these three subgroups. In fact, there are over 40 different Asian subgroups that we don't see portrayed in the media. According to Pew Research Center, there are a lot of Asian American subgroups that live within the US. Actually, there's 19, yet we don't see a lot of them in the mainstream media, like Filipino, Indian, Pakistani, Cambodian, Hmong, Thai, Laotian, Bangladeshi, Burmese, Nepalese, Indonesian, Sri Lankan, Malaysian, Bhutanese, and Mongolian. And looking at all three trailers and teasers, the only brown Asians that I actually saw were the ones in Crazy Rich Asians. So we have the actor Nico Santos playing a side character, while we also have the darker brown Asians opening doors for them. So if you watch the movie, a lot of the brown Asians are also shown as guards and servants, which goes to question how brown Asians are presented in mainstream media. And so the oppositional reading that I got out of this, or my position, is that the missing representation and lack thereof of brown Asians, as well as the portrayal of them as being the inferior Asians, is used by the dominant group, which is mainstream Hollywood, to keep brown Asians from getting lead roles. Basically, when brown Asians aren't given a chance for lead roles to become a norm. So we have the idea of power and ideology, which we talked about in class by Sage. And basically power is having influence over others, and ideology is naturalized unquestioned ideas. And so power plus ideology equals a societal norm. So in this instance, you have the power of mainstream media or Hollywood creating these ideas that whiteness is what's beautiful, what's presented, what's in, what will make money, raising issues of colorism and questioning the Western beauty standards where only light skin is beautiful. And then we have the hegemonic theory by Gramsci. And so hegemony is basically dominance. So hegemony is also the power of or ideology created by the ruling or dominant class, creating social class and hierarchy. And so exercising ideology to maintain power. Yes, we have Asian representation, but even then we are presented with light-skinned Asians by Hollywood, where we see the ideology of having lighter skin symbolizing more importance, more power, more dominance. In this case, Asians portrayed by Hollywood are only of light-skinned East Asian descent, raising Asian stereotypes and misconception. And this creates the idea that light-skinned Asians are the only acceptable Asians able to land lead roles, but brown-skinned Asians aren't, as we see them portrayed on the side or as stereotypical characters, adding the misrepresentation of who the mainstream audience considers Asian. And so now I'll be talking about brown Asians in the media, or specifically Indian Asians in the media. So in Master of None, Aziz writes and plays his own character while he plays a normal role as he addresses the diversity issue within Hollywood. And he talks about the stereotyping of Indian Asians and how there's no leading roles for Indian Asians. So I'll be showing you a clip from the from the series.
We need you to do an accent. You mean like an Indian accent? You know, Ben Kingsley did an accent in Gandhi, and he won the Oscar for it. So, but he didn't win the Oscar just for doing the accent. I mean, it wasn't an Oscar for Best Indian Accent. You see The Social Network? The Indian guy is a white guy. No, I read that he's 1/16th Indian. Who cares? If you go back far enough, we're all 1/16th something. I'm probably 1/16th black. You think they're gonna let me play Blade?
So Aziz points out the issue of stereotyping brown-skinned Asians as to only having accents to make them authentic and acceptable to mainstream media and even society. Here in this picture, you even see in the background of where he was auditioning how they stereotype brown Asian Indians into side roles like a deli owner or cab driver. But what about other roles? Why can't they play normal, non-stereotypical roles like an average teen falling in love like what we saw in To All the Boys I've Loved Before, or a regular dad who's looking for his missing daughter like in Searching? So next is another clip.
Why can't there be a Pradeep just once who's like an architect, or he designs mittens, or does one of the jobs Bradley Cooper's characters do in movies?
Dude, I think about that too. I just can't wait for that. I gotta work.
And so basically here he talks about how there's no lead roles for brown Asians. The mainstream media of Hollywood opens little to no doors for lead roles to be played, discouraging those waiting for that door to open. Because for brown Asians to not see them being represented in the media, then they think, oh, will they ever, like, if they wanted to be represented in the media, they feel like they can't because, oh, what's the point? You have to be white, you have to be light-skinned, or if anything, I can't just be me. I have to be someone else. I have to be like a stereotypical character. So, when do you ever see other brown Asians in the media that aren't on the sidelines if they are presented at all? When do you ever see them that aren't stereotyped at all? So, according to Jessica Prowess, writer for NBC News, Crazy Rich Asians and hashtag Asian August actually hopes to help a lot of Asian indie films thrive, so you see more faces like films from the Cannes Festival and Sundance. So yes, referring back to these transcending films with all Asian casts or a lot of Asian leads seen in Asian August, there may be some setback with the lack of brown Asians and even a misrepresentation as to who the audience perceives as Asian, but hopefully it sets the door open for more diverse Asian faces in the future. And in conclusion, there's more to Asians than are shown to us in the media.